What is up guys, Andy, Forest Team Runner here, back with another video for you today, and today we're going to be talking about the Nike Zoom Fly after 300 miles. As you guys know, I like to put my shoes through their paces. I like to do an initial review, maybe a couple of tests, and then come back to you once I have put a decent amount of volume into my shoes, and this is no exception. So today we're going to dive in, find out what's been good, what's been bad. Nothing ugly, it's the beauty of a shoe. Let's get on to it. Okay, I'm going to start off with an overall statement. I have thoroughly enjoyed running in this shoe, so much so that I have bought another pair fresh, ready for my marathon attempt. I have fallen in love with them, and yeah, I just thought to myself, by the time I get to May the 5th, these things are going to have well over 500 miles in them, and I'm going to want something a bit fresher for the time. I was sold in the beginning with these things. That's not to say they're without their flaws, because they are, and they have a couple that I'm going to talk to you about, but overall, as a general shoe, they are bloody good. Now, I want to start with the good. I think that's important. I want to tell you why I fell in love with them. You've got to put yourself into my perspective, into my shoes here. I've come from a background of running in Asics shoes. That's pretty much all I ran in for like 4 years. So going into this was almost like going from a Nokia 3310 phone to an iPhone X. You know, it was that much of a jump, that much of a different. And that's not a knock on Asics. I've just never really delved into the realm of racing shoes. Asics around here in the Forest Arena, fantastic, especially the road shoes, because they've got decent grip on them. I can get out on the trails. I can do most stuff in my road shoes around here. So it was a breath of fresh air to get into something like this. And one of the things that really was highlighted to me was the lightness of this shoe. You know, this is a marathon specific shoe, kind of like the younger cousin of the Vaporfly 4%. And yeah, it was light, airy. This isn't the Flyknit version, this is the normal version, but it was just light and airy. I think when I first got this upper, it's very kind of, it doesn't hold shape, it looks a bit flimsy, but that's how it looked when I got it. It's not changed, which is fantastic. And I think after 300 miles, and by the time you watch this video, they'll have 350 in them, the foam on the bottom is still as light and bouncy as when I put them on. I mean, I've never seen this before. You can see here, it gets some crinkles in the foam. I don't know if that's meant to happen, it has. But the general wear and tear on the shoe, as you saw in the intro clip, is pretty good. After 300 miles, there's nothing major going on there. But yeah, in terms of what I liked, the lightness, the versatility, and in terms of me being able to still get out on the trails, I can get out on the trails in this thing. I have noticed it's pretty useless when it's mud slippery. Like with my Asics ones, they're a bit more rugged. I can get out, run through the mud in my road shoes. It's not so much of an issue. When things get a little bit slippery, not on the roads, these are fine, but in terms of trails, they don't hold up. But then, you know, that's just me and where I live. That's not a negative against the shoe. This shoe isn't designed for that sort of thing. This is a run fast marathon type of shoe. And the other thing that I really liked in particular was the tongue. And this is the thing that I thought I would hate, because I mentioned it in the beginning and I said it's very thin, it's going to be weird. Asics have very padded tongues, and I thought this is going to be really hard to get used to. But actually it wasn't. It was fantastic. I didn't even notice it was there. So overall, as a general all-round performance and how I felt about this shoe, I've really enjoyed it. But there are a couple of things that I have... it's not been too much of a negative. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so two things I want to point out. One is a negative and one is just a personal preference that I wasn't too keen on. Getting a tight fit. Now, this was mentioned to me in the beginning, and a few of you have experienced this, I know, and I would love to hear your thoughts. I cannot get my feet to feel tight and snug in this thing. I don't know if it's these eyelets that hold the laces, because they're fabric, can you see? They're fabric, so I don't know if it's that I can't pull them tight. I either feel like I'm constricting my ankle at the top when I pull the top laces too tight, and it pinches and it hurts, or I have to settle for having them a little bit looser. But as I run, so the shoe gets looser and looser and looser. It never quite feels like it's going to fall off, but I've never felt secure and strong in it. Now, when I get into a rhythm and I'm running, especially at the Gloucester 20, I just didn't even notice it. I really didn't. It's more apparent when I'm running on the trails, I guess, on the flat trails. However, It is a bit of a bugbear. You know, it's not, as I said, stopped me from buying another pair. I love them, they're fantastic. And that's just a caveat of the shoe that I've accepted, but you can't get a tight fit, which for some of you I know is a bit frustrating. I know a lot of you have commented saying that you like to be able to tie a shoe down, feel like your foot is snug within there. You just don't feel like your foot is snug in this thing. It's good, but you don't feel like it's snug. So that's one thing. And the second thing, and this is a personal negative, this isn't a negative against the shoe, but I cannot run slow in this shoe for love nor money. And I think it's the rocker. It just makes me want to move. It makes me want to pick up my stride. It makes me want to elongate my stride and move. I struggled in the beginning to master the easy run in this thing. It's just not an easy running shoe. Again, this is my opinion. You might have different opinions. You put this on and you want to work out or you want to race. There's no in between. I can sit in a nice zone 2 level with this thing now in my heart rate. For those of you following me on Strava, you can see what I'm doing. Zone 2 is perfect. But zone 1 runs, easy recovery ones, I really have to try and force myself and make myself think that I have to run slow. It's very difficult. And then when I'm doing that, you're almost working against the rocker and your stride goes a bit funny. I don't know, it feels a little bit weird. That's not a negative against this shoe, that's just a bit of advice from me to you. If you get this shoe, use it in your arsenal for workouts and for your races, maybe not your easy runs. So that's it guys, 350 miles as we speak of time of recording in the time you see this video. How have I found it? Blooming loved it. I bought another pair. Overall, couldn't fault it. I'm excited this year to try some newer shoes, some new brands. I'm going to just mix it up and as I said, I've been Asics for 4 years now. This really opened my eyes to what actually is out there and I'm keen to explore more, keen to try some New Balance, keen to try some more Nikes, maybe some Adidas, although I had narrow fitting Adidases before which left me with a bad taste in my mouth of them, so hopefully we'll be able to find something that works. But either way guys, would I recommend this? 100%. I would absolutely say if you are looking to smash a marathon PR, get a pair of these. I believe they're on the Nike store still for like under £80, which is a bargain. It's not the Flyknit version, as I said. The Flyknit version is over 100, but these things are incredible. Don't hesitate. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I've enjoyed running in these things. I can't wait to get my feet into another pair of them. If you did, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course do consider subscribing to the channel for weekly running content, and I will see you next time. Until then.